You know that sound, that feeling you get when you hear the blues? It's just unmistakable, right? It's a mood, it's heartache, it's hope, all at once. But what if I told you that all of that emotion is built on a surprisingly simple and really powerful musical structure? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the DNA of the blues, starting not with the music itself, but with the feeling behind it all.
See, the blues has always been more than just a genre of music. It's a kind of emotional release. I love this quote, "Group psychotherapy," that really hits the nail on the head. It was born out of the incredible hardships faced by African Americans, and it became this powerful way to take all that personal pain and turn it into something everyone could share. It's literally the sound of singing your troubles away together.
And that musical therapy, well, it went on a journey, changing and evolving as it moved across the country. So let's follow that path for a minute.
The story of the blues really mirrors the story of its people. You know, it all started back in the 19th century rural South. It was raw, just a single voice and a guitar, and you could hear echoes of the old work songs in it. But then come the 1920s and the Great Migration. The blues packs its bags and moves to the big, booming cities up north, and the sound gets bigger too. Suddenly you have women often fronting the bands, backed by a full rhythm section. And this is where that classic 12-bar structure really becomes the standard. Fast forward to the 40s, and the music gets a new, grittier voice. And just like that, the modern blues is born.
Okay, so what is this 12-bar blueprint we're talking about? Think of it as the skeleton. It's this simple, super reliable framework that gives the blues its iconic looping feel. It is the foundation that everything else gets built on.
Right here, this is the engine of the blues. It's a simple, repeating pattern of 12 musical measures. But here's the really incredible part. For a genre that carries so much emotional weight, the whole thing is built on just 3 chords. 3! That's it! That's a huge part of its magic.
The best way to think about it is like a little story that just keeps repeating itself. You start at home, that's your tonic chord, and you hang out there for 4 bars. Then you take a short trip away to the subdominant chord for 2 bars, before you head right back home for 2 more. Then comes the dominant chord. This is where the tension builds, right? It's that feeling of suspense before you finally resolve back home for the last 2 bars. It's just home, away, back, tension, and release, over and over again.
Okay, but if the chord structure is that simple, where does all that soulful, crying, unmistakable blues sound come from? Well, that's the secret sauce. It comes from a few special, secret weapon notes that are played against those simple chords.
So, first on our list is the flat 7th. Now, in most music, a major chord sounds, pretty straightforward and happy. But the blues throws in a twist. It adds a minor 7th note right on top. And just that one little change instantly makes every chord sound a bit more complex, a little more tense, kind of like a story where you're not quite sure how it's going to end. And this right here is the absolute heart of the blues sound, the flat 3rd. So get this, the band is playing a chord that has a happy-sounding major 3rd in it, but the singer or the guitarist is wailing on a sad-sounding minor 3rd at the exact same time. It's that beautiful clash, that rub between happy and sad that is the blues. It's the sound of finding a little bit of joy right in the middle of your pain. And then, to add just a little bit of grit to the whole thing, you've got the flat 5th. This is the wrong note that sounds so right. It's pure tension. It's a musical cliffhanger that just makes you hold your breath, waiting for it to resolve. It's the sound of suspense, all packed into a single note.
So there you have them, the flat 3, the flat 5, and the flat 7. Those 3 blues notes are the key ingredients. You just pour them over that simple 12-bar structure, and that's where the magic happens.
So you've got these incredibly powerful, soulful notes. But how do you actually use them to make one of those classic blues solos? Well, that's where the legendary blues scale comes into play. It's basically the musician's toolkit for speaking the language of the blues.
Okay, so on the left, you see the minor pentatonic scale. I guarantee you've heard this scale in a million rock, folk, and pop songs. Now, to turn it into a blues scale, you just have to make one tiny, brilliant tweak. You add that gritty flat 5 note we were just talking about, and boom, you've got it. The core vocabulary of the blues.
What makes this scale so amazing is just how versatile it is. I mean, a guitarist, singer, anyone can use this one single 6-note scale over the entire 12-bar progression. No matter how the chords change underneath, this one scale just works. It's like a key that unlocks that authentic blues sound every single time.
This structure also changes the way blues stories get told. You've got the classic AAB form. You sing a line about your troubles, then you sing it again, maybe a little different just to let it really sink in, and then you hit them with a third line, the punch line that resolves the whole thought. Then you've got the riff form. That's where you take a short, catchy little musical phrase and just repeat it over and over, creating this powerful, almost hypnotic groove.
Now I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds kind of simple, right? And you know what? It is, but that beautiful simplicity is exactly what makes the Blues Blueprint such an incredible launchpad for some breathtaking complexity.
The great thing about a simple blueprint is that it just begs you to mess with it. One of the first and most common tweaks musicians made is something called the quick change. So instead of waiting all the way to the 5th bar to change chords, you jump to that IV chord right away, in the 2nd bar. It's a small shift for sure, but it gives the whole song a little extra energy right from the top.
And then you have this. This is what happens when a certified genius takes that simple 3-chord blueprint and runs it through the wild world of bebop, a style known for its lightning-fast melodies and incredibly complex harmonies. A master like Charlie Parker could take the soul of the blues and dress it up in this brand new, super sophisticated language. I mean, look at it. It's still a 12-bar blues at its core, but it just goes to show you how amazingly flexible that original foundation really is.
So, at the end of the day, the blues is both a feeling and a formula. It's a simple, powerful blueprint for expressing the deepest emotions, but it's also a playground for infinite variation and mind-bending complexity. It's a structure that begs to be pushed, to be reimagined. Which kind of leaves us with one last thought. How far can you really bend a blueprint like this before it becomes something else entirely? That's a question musicians are still having a lot of fun answering today.